graduation classes, and though very short but very enlightening. And I would just like to reiterate, whatever we have already discussed. So you did talk about the monoliths starting from India to the other parts of the world, and I will go on adding the sequence. So starting from Hyderabad, we have our own monoliths here. I don't know whether you are aware of this. As ma'am has read my introduction, I have developed a mobile application called Hyderabad Heritage. Whenever you have time, you can just check it. It has one site from Central University, Hyderabad, HCU. HCU has a beautiful, I would just put it in simple words. They are a long standing post. They are like 7 feet long. There's one 7 feet long. And then we have these megalithic tombs also. We have cairns there. They are in the process of restoring it, but not much has been done. And we say that the Hyderabad's oldest man is living there. Living in the sense, definitely we are talking about thousands years old history. So this is about Hyderabad. As I said, you can find this database in the application itself. Moving on little far from Hyderabad, because we are still in southern region. So I would say Pandaval Gutta is very parallel to what Bhimbetka you talked about just now as a World Heritage Site in Madhya Pradesh. So I would really appreciate if our kids who already know so much internationally appreciate what regionally also is available to us. So and Bhimbetka does have a rock art at different period of time. And other than Bhimbetka, we have a site which has 200 plus megalithic tombs only in one campus. I don't know how many people are aware of it. It's a part of ecotourism program run by Forest Department. As ma'am has read in the introduction, I happen to have a small term work with them. Let's say a couple of years and some small sessions in different sites. So I have visited both the sites, Pandaval Gutta and the other side. They call it Rakshasulu Guhalu. So they believe that these were habited by demonly looking people, or either they are very small and they are very big. When we say very small, I happened to witness a site in Karnataka when I was just going ahead with with my own let's say my own expedition on foot. I was told wahan mat jaiye, aapko maar ke kha lenge. And these people have do their farming with the help of rabbits. If you check it online, I'm sure you will get an article written somewhere in 2002, 3 like that. So, and in Karnataka, we have a site very close to Hampi. As a post-graduation student, I have seen that also. So we are further going towards, the southern region, and we have some sites in Tamil Nadu. So yeah, next time I would appreciate if students know a little more about the regional part also. But definitely, it has been enlightening for me too. And coming to the rock part, I think the last Nanta ma'am talked about some scripts. So we can do a session with children. I have recently learned Brahmi script. It's a part of monolithic talk what you are discussing. So Brahmi is a script which is actually the language is Pali. So this is to my knowledge, it is the oldest script available in India. When we just started writing, Ashoka got these inscriptions done, these rock edicts done across India. There are 30 plus sites. I think 32 sites by now already being discovered, and there are books. You can check it online. If you're really keen, IGNCA has done some work, and even the Buddhist institutions have done a lot of work to translate them. In fact, it is told that Ashoka's actual name called Priyadasi, Rajena. So the Raja who is beloved of everybody, who loves everyone, was his actual name. So there's a lot to learn from our own people, our own sites. If you come to the term Bhim Betika means Bhim's Baitak, Bhim ke baithne ki jagah, the place where Bhima, and as our students already talked about, 13 years Pandavas were in exile there. Yes, if we can, consider the fact they must have spent some time there. And same with Pandaval Gutta also in Telangana. The term Pandaval Gutta itself says that Pandavas came here. There's a separate cave which is Kunti Mata's cave. And then the height is hardly this much. So if you really want to meditate, the rock is going to touch your head. Not by standing, just by sitting. So yeah, and I would like to add that monolithic structures are into different categories. So there are columns and when you talk about columns, in many places we only are left with the fragments of capitals,